You are forced to bear a child, forced to drop out of school, to flee from an insurgency and into displacement, to assume the role of a mother and a father at an ever so young age. In addition to these, you adopt 3 orphans and care for them. It takes selflessness, patience, and backbreaking struggles. A single mother, a nurturer, you are determined to give your children a better life than the one you had. Welcome to Vestiges of Violence. Here, we talk about survivors. For Human Angle, I am Sabiga. This story is one of selflessness. Maryam Adam Usman, a 30-year-old woman from Borno State, Nigeria, grew up in a loving home with her parents and elder sister. She had dreams of becoming a doctor, but she never made it through secondary school. Maryam had to drop out of school when her parents got divorced, and she found herself navigating a new reality. She would live the next 3 dreadful years with her father and stepmother, being maltreated. She would be assaulted, get pregnant, and become a mother, all by the tender age of 13. In July 2019, Maryam and her family fled Jakana, a village 50 kilometers away from Maiduguri. The Boko Haram attack that year had displaced them to the Gubio IDP camp in Maiduguri. They lived in patchy tents until December 2022, when the government closed the camps down. Today, at the age of 30, Maryam lives with her 17-year-old daughter Halima, 2 of her late sister's daughters, and an orphan she took in when they were moving out of the IDP camp. Maryam sews caps and engages in menial jobs to support her family.
I do any legal work that would earn me money. I stopped working as a domestic help because I experienced so much humiliation that I could not bear it anymore. Any work that comes my way, especially catering, I do it.
If she had a choice, Maryam would go back to school, but she would rather channel the money for tuition and transportation into feeding her family. She would use it to pay for her children's education instead, so that they would accomplish what she could not. It is Maryam's wish to see them excel, to see one of her daughters become a medical doctor.
It is better I let my kids to go to school so their lives can be good, since mine wasn't, and I'm used to it now. I want them to have a better life. I don't want them to suffer like I did.
Having no support from her parents who are not financially capable, Maryam's journey is a roller coaster. She tries her best to overcome challenges and earn enough to sustain her family.
My parents were too old and weak to engage in meaningful ventures, so I had to step in for my mother and my 4 children. And that's the role I have been playing for over 13 years now, being the breadwinner.
Maryam remains steadfast, trusting that God is in control and He will always help her. She is optimistic that her children will have a beautiful and fruitful life. In the next episode of Vestiges of Violence, we will tell the story of David Jafaru, who fled his village from a violent attack. An attempt to return home would land him at the feet of kidnappers. In order to protect the identities of survivors, we use voice actors for this episode. If you or anyone you know have a story to share on Vestiges of Violence, do not hesitate to get in touch with us.